It's no secret that with its last few entries, Paper Mario has fallen out of favor with most Nintendo fans, not too much unlike Mario Party. Luckily, if recent rumors have anything to say about it, much like Mario Party with its Super Mario Party release on Nintendo Switch, it seems like Nintendo has finally heard our cries and is aiming to try to do something about it. That said, they didn't quite get there with Super Mario Party, so today I thought it would be a good idea to come with some ideas on how to revitalize Paper Mario in a way that Paper Mario fans would love. Let's talk about it. Before we get into my thoughts on what I want from the game itself, I want to talk about why I think this makes sense in the first place, removed from all the rumors. The presumed developer of this rumored game, Intelligent Systems, typically cycles between the Fire Emblem series, an occasional WarioWare game, taking a breather to sit back and laugh at all the people that think they truly care about Advance Wars.
Come on, Reggie! How about this instead?
And most importantly for this video's purposes, they make Paper Mario. With that in mind, I wouldn't be surprised to see that they've been working on a Switch release of the latter for some time now, seeing as though they handed the bulk of the heavy lifting for the development of Fire Emblem Three Houses to Koei Tecmo. This could potentially mean that their primary focus has been Paper Mario at the very least since they've wrapped development on WarioWare Gold, if not sooner, considering how I'd assume that game to be a lighter workload since they essentially just ported a selection of their past WarioWare microgames to 3DS. And with that time, I could see them taking a long, hard look at the franchise as a whole, and hopefully they came to the realization that the classic formula is the way to go. After all, it's what us fans have been clamoring for since they originally pivoted to different playstyles with Sticker Star, some even longer than that with the release of Super Paper Mario. And not only that, but the best received Switch releases of other long-running franchises did a bit more than that when they released. Sure, many of them were a return to form in many ways to their traditional formulas or other similar formulas within sub-franchises in the case of Mario Odyssey. They also made concerted efforts to be more than just another game in the series. They all set out to be the best in their respective series, and I see no reason why Paper Mario can't do the same. With that said, here's some ideas on how they can make that happen. The best part of Paper Mario, in my opinion, is its uncharacteristic focus on story and character within the Mushroom Kingdom, particularly in relation to Mario. It's for this reason that Paper Mario on Nintendo Switch is a great opportunity to follow up on or even just revisit parts of the Mario world that we may not see revisited in a meaningful way otherwise. I think if this truly ends up being released as part of the 35th anniversary of the Super Mario franchise, the only new game rumored in the lineup of game releases could be the one that celebrates all of the past games in a brand new way. Essentially, I want this Paper Mario game to center around the idea of Paper Mario revisiting past game worlds in the Mario franchise. Imagine a Paper Mario game where the Bowser of the original Super Mario Bros. Teams up with modern Paper Mario Bowser and every other main series Mario villain to finally get revenge on Mario. I say this mostly because Mario fans have famously wanted follow-ups to games like Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and even Super Mario Galaxy 2. So why not use the most narratively driven Mario franchise to bring those specific Mario worlds into focus once again? My first thought was that something akin to Into the Spider-Verse would actually be in line with things Nintendo has done as recently as the release of Mario Tennis Aces. That was very similar to the Marvel Infinity Saga, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched in my opinion to see them take cues from another popular Marvel property, albeit a Marvel and Sony collaboration, but I'm choosing to ignore that part because, to be fair, it's only a recent example of Marvel dipping into multiverse stuff, but I digress. I think in this particular story, the inciting incident could be the NES Bowser seeking to frame his world's Mario. To accomplish this, he happens upon and consults with the Bowser Jr. of Mario Sunshine's world because, well, he had some brief success in that department in his own world.
Behold this sketch of the perpetrator based on eyewitness descriptions. The truth is obvious. The guilty party sits among us. It is none other than Mario.
Objection! Overruled. I judge the defendant guilty as charged.
Together, they discover Mario's involvement in Donkey Kong Jr. and formulate a plan on how to vilify Mario based on his past. Which, I mean, come on, that's pretty topical, and it'd be a tongue-in-cheek wink and a nod at the Nintendo fan base that has fun with formulating fan theories around Mario's troubling past. Mario in the modern Paper Mario world would then have to travel between 2D versions of all of the Super Mario game worlds sometime after the most recent game in that sub-series wrapped up their storylines. How would Super Mario World's Mario interact with Flood? Or how would the original Super Mario Bros. Mario interact with Lumba's? In the past, the Mario and Luigi RPG series of games mess with the idea of characters from other Mario games existing in a shared world, so it wouldn't be a completely unprecedented idea from them anyway. Just a new way to approach it and a different sub-franchise to approach it in. I'd argue there's no better way to celebrate Mario than to take a look back at his history and establish the direction of his future in one nice little package. For the gameplay, I think we all know there needs to be a return to form going on here. Nobody wants the battle systems from Sticker Star or Color Splash. Give us the classic Paper Mario system and we'd be golden. I mean, come on, this system is so good that South Park Stick of Truth pretty much ripped it off wholesale, so Nintendo definitely should feel confident enough in it to continue on using it in Paper Mario, especially if the bankruptcy of Alpha Dream means we won't be seeing any more Mario and Luigi games in the future. That's even more justification because, in my opinion, those games being actively developed, potentially confusing consumers by coexisting with traditional Paper Mario games, was the only slightly understandable reason for changing Paper Mario's combat. But now, although the circumstance is unfortunate, we don't have that situation to worry about anymore. That said, it's been quite a while since the last Paper Mario game in this style has been released, so I'm sure Nintendo would want to update that system in some way while they're at it. Of course, part of this is an easy thing to do just by implementing new attacks and techniques that are inspired by more current mechanics like Cappy to the battle system. This in and of itself will add some uniqueness to the battles seen in a modern Paper Mario game with the classic style. I don't think that alone would be enough for Nintendo though. They're gonna want some sort of central gameplay mechanic to underscore the theme of the game and potentially inspire the title of it. Something akin to the Color Splash RGB ink-like paint mechanic. I think I have an idea they could use this time around. I think a fun central mechanic that hasn't been explored much in past Paper Mario releases is the concept of mailing, or better yet, to play into and in a sense take back the Nintendo is outdated meme, faxing. This would be a great narrative device for the modern day Paper Mario to get himself in and out of each world that will be featured in this game. They could go even further with the motif if they wanted to as well by implementing both a printer and copier mechanic. I think the fax machine in particular will be less of a gameplay specific mechanic and more of the device to drive the story forward by being what connects all of the timelines together because, well, they are made of paper in the Paper Mario world. Faxing them back and forth between one place to another just makes sense. Paper Mario and Paper Bowser would be able to fax themselves between all of the different Mario worlds, a la Kingdom Hearts, and that'll be the primary gimmick of this game in the story department. The copier could be used as a more gameplay specific mechanic though, same with the printer. What I'm thinking is this will be the path to an upgrade system of sorts for attacks or item management or some other super basic RPG specific thing that Paper Mario could spice up using its unique charm. This could even be a tongue-in-cheek way to reference Color Splash. All of the unused paint from the game's world could be repurposed as ink in this follow-up. Something about not enough people playing the game, so they had to find a way to use all the leftover paint. I'm sure Nintendo and maybe some of you could think of some fun ways to use the printing, copying, and potentially even faxing for the gameplay of Paper Mario, but one other specific idea I had would be some kind of asynchronous multiplayer that would allow for a group of players to fax each other special items that would influence their playthroughs in some way. You know, go all Death Stranding and whatnot. Or at least Miiverse levels of player warnings and other messages and such along their way through the game. I think that'd be a neat way to use this mechanic. And those are my ideas on what I'd like to see come of all of these Paper Mario Nintendo Switch rumors. Of course, these are some off the cuff, pretty rough concepts, but I think something like this could be an incredible revival of one of Nintendo's fallen franchises. And let's not let the ideas end here. I want to see ideas from you guys as well. What do you think a game like this should be called? What other gameplay elements would you add? Do you have an entirely different Paper Mario idea? Leave them in the comments. We'll discuss the ones with the most thumbs up and a few of my my personal favorites in this week's episode of our weekly Nintendo podcast, Directly to You, which goes up every Saturday at 10 a.m. in the channel linked in the description and on the card, as well as podcast services if you search Directly to You. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you click the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like it every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, that's it for me. See you next week.